Birekoth Shalum. This is BG from RTB, and today I will be going over the fruit of the Spirit, love. Me and my wife decided to do a in-depth study on each of the fruit of the Spirit, and we'll be doing a video on each one of them. The reason why, because sometimes we all need a reminder of how we need to be, and we just want to do this for ourselves and do this for everybody else, you know what I'm saying, just so we can be refreshed on how we're supposed to be. So what you see right now on the screen is Galatians chapter 5 verses 22 through 23, and it says, "But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, trustworthiness, gentleness, and self-control." Okay, and as you see, the word love is highlighted, so in red and bigger letters. So that's what we're going to be focusing on today in this video. The Bible verses will be coming out of Eastward, the Scriptures 2009, which are very similar to the Hallelujah Scriptures. And how we're going to do, we're going to first delve into the definition of what love is, and then we will be going into the scriptures to see what the scripture says about love, about how we're supposed to love the Most High, and how we're supposed to love our fellow man. All right, so what is love? According to the Webster's New World Dictionary, the 3rd edition, love is a deep and tender feeling of affection for or attachment or devotion to a person or persons. And before I go on, these words that are highlighted, that are bold, we're going to get into those definitions too, so we can get a deeper understanding of love. Okay, so now we go to the Strong's exhaustive concordance of the Bible. All right, we have Hebrew 1:5-7, which is ahab or ahab, and that means to have affection for. That is the word for love, ahab. And then we go over to the Greek, which is Greek 26, which is agape, which is affection or benevolence. And agape comes from agapao, which means to love in a social or moral sense. All right, so now that we see what the definition of love is in the regular dictionary and in the Hebrew concordance, we're going to go ahead and delve into the highlighted words or the bolden words that you saw earlier. All right, so affection is a mental or emotional state or tendency, disposition of feeling, a feeling of liking and caring for someone or something, tender attachment or fondness. All right, then we go over to attachment, affectionate regard or devotion. And next is devoted, which means dedicated, consecrated, very loving, loyal, or faithful. And then benevolence is an inclination to do good, kindliness. All right, so now we know what love is, and then we know what these different words are that was bolden: affection, attachment, devoted, and benevolence, because they all go together in how we're supposed to live and how we're supposed to love the Most High and how we are supposed to love our fellow man. All right, so let's go ahead and get into the scriptures now. So we got Deuteronomy chapter 6 verse 5, and it says, and this is Moses speaking, and it says, or Moshe, and it says, "And you shall love Yahuwah your Elohim with all your heart, and with all your being, and with all your might." All right, and then at Matthew chapter 22 verses 37 through 40, it says, "And Yahushua said to them, you shall love Yahuwah your Elohim with all your heart, and with all your being, and with all your mind. This is the first and great command. And the second is like it. You shall love your neighbor as yourself. On these two commands hang all the Torah and the prophets. So right here, you see Moshe and Yahushua is both saying to love the Most High with everything we have. We are to be affectionate. We're supposed to have an attachment to Him. We're supposed to be devoted to Him. All right, and we have supposed to have an inclination to do good, which is benevolence. All right, but they both are saying that we are supposed to love our Creator, the Most High, with everything we got, with all our might. All right, and you notice that the word command, Torah, and prophets are bolding, and you will find out later why I have made those words bold. All right, now let's go off to the next verse. Now we got Yohanan or John. It's chapter 14, verses 15 and verses 21. And this is Yahushua speaking, and it says, "If you love me, you shall guard my commands." All right, then over to 21, it says, "He who possesses my commands and guards them, it is he who loves me. And he who loves me shall be loved by my Father, and I shall love him and manifest myself to him." So according to the book of Yohanan or the book of John, if you love the Messiah and you guard his commands, and you possess his commands and you guard them, you love him. And if you love the Messiah, then you'll be loved by the Father and the Messiah, and they will show themselves to you. All right, so just keep that in mind. We have to guard the commands. Remember that. All right, now 1 Yohanan chapter 5 verses 2 through 3 says, "By this we know that we love the children of Elohim." Again, we're supposed to love our fellow man, our neighbor. "When we love Elohim and guard his commands, for this is the love for Elohim, that we guard his commands, and his commands are not heavy." All right, and it says right there in verse 3, this is the love for him. This is how we show love for the Most High, is that we guard his commands. All right, and it also tells us that they are not heavy or they're not grievous. All right, and over in 2 John chapter 1 verse 6 says, "And this is the love," all right, "that we walk according to his commands. This is the command, that as you have heard from the beginning, you should walk in it." Now, what is this command that we heard from the beginning? All right, what is the command that we should walk in? And that's the question. That is the question. So let's go on. All right, now we get to Shemuth or Exodus chapter 20 verse 6, and this is the Most High speaking. This is part of the quote unquote 10 commandments that the Most High wrote with his own finger. And it says, this chapter 6, verse 6, "But showing loving commitment to thousands, to those who love me and guard my commands." All right, now we're getting somewhere, right? So Yah will show a loving commitment to us if we guard his commands, and by guarding his commands, we are the people who love them, or you are the people who love them. All right, and I know many people might say, well, the law was done away with. But it's not, because guess what? The law still stands today. Now we go over to Matthew chapter 5 verse 17. It says, this is Yahushua speaking, "Do not think that I came to destroy the Torah or the prophets. I did not come to destroy, but to complete or to fulfill." And right here, this tells you that the Torah and the prophets are not done away with. All right, the law was not done away with, and You know, many people today believe that because what is taught in Christianity, but that is basically not a true statement. That is false doctrine. All right, that is false doctrine. So what excuse me. So what are these commands? All right, they're in the Torah. All right, so right here is 10 of his commands, and understand there's other statutes and ordinance that we have to go by, but this is the basic outline of how we're supposed to be. You know, 4 of them is for, you know, loving the Most High, and the rest is for how you love your fellow man. All right, so how you love the Most High: you have no other mighty one against his face. All right, you shall have no other quote unquote gods before him. All right, you should not make for yourself a carved image. You should not bow down to them. You should not worship them. You should not pray to them. All right. You do not bring the name of Yah, your Elohim, to naught, or bring or you know, bring his name to shame or in vain. All right. The next is remember the Sabbath day and to kodesh it, or to set it apart, or to keep it holy. All right. He commanded us 6 days we shall work and do all our labor. The 7th day we should rest, because it's the Shabbat of the Most High, because he created the heavens and the earth 6 days, and on the 7th he rested. All right. So those are the 4 basic things you need to do to love the Most High. And here go the other to you know, love your fellow man. And it says respect your father and your mother. All right, because many people today do not respect their father and mother, but that is a command from the Most High. And also, when you love your fellow man, your neighbor, you're also showing that you're following the Most High's commands, and that you love him also. So then you do not murder, you do not take another person's life. All right, you do not commit adultery. All right, you do not have sex with another man's wife, and a woman should not have sex with another woman's husband. All right, we are not supposed to do that. All right, we should not steal. Self-explanatory. We should not steal from another person. All right, you should not bear false witness against your neighbor, which is basically saying you should not lie on your neighbor. You know, basically what it is. And then you do not covet your neighbor's possessions, whether it's his wife, children, his servants, his car, whatever their possessions are. You should not covet it. All right, because Yah has things for you. Whatever this other person got is what Yah gave to them. So what you have or what you got is from Yah. So you should not covet another man's possessions. All right. So all in all, how do we show love to the Most High? How do we love the Most High? You know, we believe on and love the Messiah. We follow the law, statutes, and commandments of Yah. And we love our neighbor as we love ourselves. You know, and that's basically what we have to do to show that we love the Most High. Again, love his son, believe in him, follow the law, statutes, and commandments, and love your neighbor as you love yourself. You know, and again, when you look into these definitions of love, you know, you got to be devoted to the Most High. You have to attach yourself to him, attach yourself to his word, attach yourself to the law, attach yourself to the Messiah. You have to be devoted to him, dedicated. You have to consecrate yourself to him. You know, you have to want to do good. You have to want to be kind to your fellow man. You know, you have to be affectionate. You know, you have to love the Most High with all your mind, which is affection, a mental or emotional state, with all your mind and with all your heart. That's a mental and emotional state. You understand? We must love the Most High. We must love his son, and we must dedicate ourselves and love and attach ourselves to his laws. Just attach ourselves to him. And that's the things that we have to do as followers. We have to watch out how boastful we get. We have to watch out how high-minded we get. Right? We have to watch out how we talk to people. You know, we have to watch our walk. We have to always get back into the word. And this is also for me. This is for me and everybody else. You know, it's imperative that we have this particular fruit of the Spirit. It's imperative. All right. So what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to end it off with some verses from Corinthians, or 1 Corinthians chapter 13, 4 through 8. And it says, love is patient, is kind. Love does not envy. Love does not boast, is not puffed up, does not behave indecently, does not seek its own, is not provoked, reckons not the evil, does not rejoice over the unrighteousness, but rejoices in the truth. It covers all, believes all, expects all, and endures all. Love never fails. And if our love for the Most High Yah, if our love for the Messiah is strong, it will never fail, and their love will never fail for us. You know, for even though you may love people, sometimes they might not love you back, but with you enduring that, the Most High will love you because you love him, because you follow his commands, because you love his son, and you love your neighbor, and you're living an upright life according to his laws, statutes, and commandments. So I hope that everybody got something out of this, little something. You know, a little study that y'all can have with y'all family and everything, and just have to remind ourselves that we have to love. All right, love is the key. You know, we can't do anything without love. We could pretend that we follow the Most High. We could pretend that we like another person. We could pretend that we believe on the Messiah and that we love him. We can pretend, but if the love is not there, they will not love us, and you know, the Most High will reject us. All right. So again, we must love the Most High with all our minds, with all our hearts, and with all our might. This is BG from RTB. I hope y'all got something from this. Take it easy. Birekoth Shalum.